guys, and welcome to Curveball.
Welcome.
We have got a spicy little episode today, and it's all based on dating
And sex.
Yes.
Guys, the bar is in hell. I have just got this message on Instagram from Carlo5797. You're actually so effortlessly cute. Anyway, I'm going to try and manifest you for when I leave prison. Oh, Carlo.
yeah, genuinely was like, Carlo sounds like
It was
a nice
going so
guy.
well.
It was going so well. And this is what happens in dating. It goes so well, and then bang!
Real
you're
talk.
hit.
You're single.
I'm single.
I've been in a relationship for 2 years, but I was single in my early 30s. Dating in your 30s.
Oh, honestly, Soph, I actually don't know where to start. I feel like it's a living hell dating in your 30s. Like, I'm not even, I kid you not, like, you think you're getting somewhere, then bang! Carlo hits.
From prison.
From prison.
How's he got phone in prison?
I know, that was the question I was going to say, but I mean, no, genuinely, like, I date.
Yes.
I'm not actively dating now, but I have dated.
Why are you not
hell of a
actively
lot.
dating now?
I think just because I'm just struggling to find anyone that matches my energy right now. And I think because I've done a lot of work myself, I'm just like, also I've been ghosted like recently, and there's just been a lot of things that I just cannot, I'm not aligned with these men.
Take some time for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just to throw a curveball, because we just had this conversation and you have to share and you're going to die. What's the last thing that you searched for on Amazon?
Don't you dare. I can't believe he's actually doing this to me.
It's about sex, we're going for it, come on. What's the last thing you searched for on Amazon, Kayleigh?
Thrusting dildo.
Thrusting dildo. Do you know what mine was? Cat calming spray. 2 types of women in the 30s.
There are 2 types of women in the 30s.
I wish I was you.
Thrusting dildo.
Absolutely.
Can I
brilliant.
just, you know, we're all entitled to our sex toys. I love my sex toys.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to lie. Listen, I live by my sex toys.
What's your favourite sex toy?
I have... Thrusting dildo. No, I'm joking. I've not tried it yet. Listen,
Have you bought one?
No, I couldn't
Right.
find one that I
Okay.
liked, but...
I'll do some research for you.
you.
Actually, sorry, just a tangent, but we were doing the production research for this episode at my house.
Yeah.
And Kayleigh couldn't research her giant thrusting dildo because my parental controls were on.
I know. I was like, oh my God, Soph, why have you got parental control on? Like, what?
You have to
She's
turn
not
the
even
Wi-Fi
got
off.
children.
You have to turn the Wi-Fi
She
off
has
to watch
turn the
porn.
My God, she has, I need
I've
to
just
put
never figured it
VPN to
out.
watch porn. Yeah, my favourite sex toy is actually, it's actually like a big vibrator, but it's not like...
What, like a big dildo that goes inside you?
No. It's just for the lady films.
Oh, like the big massager one with the big head.
Big massager,
Oh,
like see
yeah.
on pornos. Not
They
that I
are
watch
good.
a lot of porn, and I don't think it's unhealthy to watch porn, but like I don't watch
That's
that
a whole
much anyway.
podcast episode.
Absolutely, but like no, it's like a big vibrator. It just
like,
hits the spot, right?
Clit sucker. Have you got a clit sucker? That's what it does, like,
What does it
like
do?
a vacuum.
Oh God, it makes me feel
I don't
ill.
know what I was thinking.
Like a vacuum, but yeah, no, I had one. It just didn't. It weren't strong enough for me.
Oh.
It wasn't strong enough for me. That's why I got the vibrating massive. It looks like what they call like a truncheon.
It looks a bit like the one that you massage your
Back with,
muscles with, yeah.
Well, you can do everything with it, to be honest. I mean, apart from insert it, but it's fantastic. But I mean, like, as a single woman in her 30s that's not actively dating, I've ADHD, I need my dopamine and serotonin.
As a woman in your 30s who is actively dating or is in a relationship,
yeah,
I still
that's
think
true.
sex toys are a healthy part and masturbation is a healthy part of life.
Absolutely.
And my sex toys, it's actually really funny, are, by the way, this is the episode we do not want our family to listen to.
Oh yeah, my God, Dad, don't listen.
Yeah, switch off now.
Mum knows everything about me, to be honest.
Yeah. My sex toys are in a box that I got, and it's from like Rituals or somewhere, and it says happiness comes in the smallest.
It's not wrong. How big is this box?
It's quite big.
Like a shoebox?
No, it's bigger than that. I keep having to upgrade the size of the box.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Why?
Because mine, I've just had to like put it into
Got a suitcase.
Yeah.
Have you actually? A suitcase.
Well, it's like a big, you know.
Can we rip it out?
Big, yeah. It's...
Are
the
you
bigger
single? What's your status?
Yes, I'm the most single I think I've ever been. But do you know what? That actually just reminds me, right, once. I was like 10 years ago and I was travelling to Canada and I was on my own and the guy, do you know when you go through airport security and the guy was like, oh, what's your status? So, no, it was, what's your friend's status? So I was like, oh my God, what do you mean she's single? Why are you wanting to like hook up? And honestly, this guy's face, obviously head like security is just like, no, what does she do for a living? And I was like, oh, I'm just so used to people saying, oh, what's your status? Like, are you single?
Side note,
Oh,
but I was in Valencia 6 weeks ago and I went through airport security and my passport picture is me with pink hair because I had pink hair for like 10 years. So I went through and the guy literally looked at my passport picture and went, just laughed in my face and he went, different.
I feel like we need to show a passport photos here because if you saw mine, I'm an absolute catfish. It's from a modelling job.
Stop.
And I swear to God, the amount of people that go,
And you do not look like that walking through the airport.
I do not look like that walking through the airport. But anyway, yeah, I'm a single. Yes, I'm very much single.
My status.
You are
I am not.
in a relationship.
My status is I was in a 9-year relationship in Australia and I broke up with him during the pandemic, moved back to England, which was absolutely wild. And we are going to do a whole episode on heartbreak and I'm so excited to hear it because there's so much wisdom. But today's episode is lighthearted. It's about dildo thrusters. It's... and cat calming spray, obviously.
Cat calming spray, because that's what you need when you're buying dildos.
Yeah, so my status is I was in a relationship for 9 years, moved back, and then found myself single at 30 and back on the dating scene. And when I had got into my relationship previously, there was no Tinder. Tinder wasn't a thing, so I came...
Oh, in your 30s?
No.
No, I was going to say,
before my big relationship.
Oh, yeah,
there was
of
none
course,
of that. So I come back, I'm 30, and all of a sudden I'm on this dating scene, which is like crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'd start a Hinge profile. It was absolutely wild.
What are your thoughts on, like, dating apps?
I mean, so I'm now in a relationship, have been for 2 years,
Yeah.
and I met him on Bumble. So
Bumble!
my thoughts on dating apps are great.
I actually met someone on Bumble too.
Yeah.
It's
Not here, is he?
It's absolutely not.
Not a good ad for Bumble, but we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
not
met him
good
on
ad for-
Bumble.
Wow.
And yeah, I can't say enough good things about Bumble for that reason.
Yeah, of
Had
course.
to kiss a lot of fish. Had to kiss a lot of fish, is that what I meant?
I think she means frogs, but yeah, you can kiss fish if you like. You're thinking plenty of fish. Aren't you?
kiss a
You
lot of
can kiss a lot of
fish.
fish if you like.
What's the worst date you've ever been on?
Oh my God.
On that note, kissing fish.
Funny you say that actually, because I actually got taken once on a date. Ridiculous. Like, we've been back and forward messaging, really fit Scouser, love a Scouse me.
Do you?
Oh, do I?
Oh, it's not
do you
for
know,
me.
really?
No.
So I love, like, the blue eyes, that, like...
What's your type?
Dark hair, blue eyes.
Okay.
That's aesthetically, but now it's completely different.
course,
There's
but
so
you know
many more...
physically, that's
yeah,
your
that
type,
physically, yeah. And do you know what it is with the Scousers? And I'll say this, because I'm quite like a big personality as well. I just feel
Never.
like... No, would you believe? Not a gobshite, I told me.
Very demure, very mindful.
I am. But like, I think Scousers just got a lot of charm.
Okay.
The only ones that approach me, so I love a Scouser.
Okay.
And I went on this date with him. We'd gone to go. Actually, it was bonfire night. We'd gone to this lovely bonfire, and they was like, "We'll go to this restaurant."
Cute.
Nice. No, turns up at this river. He parks up next to this river, and he's like, "Oh, the restaurant used to be here. It's not here anymore." There was no restaurant there. There's never been a restaurant there.
Dogging.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. There were people in cars shagging. And I was like,
Wait, sorry, this is your first date?
yeah.
That's why I don't date Scousers.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't date
That
him
was the end of
anymore.
that. Is that the worst date you've ever been on?
But then, yeah, no, it got worse though, because he had like the worst
How
breath
does it
as
get
well. You know, because
worse?
he was like trying to kiss me, and I was like, whoa, I'm not into this. Like, ew, absolutely not. Like, the worst breath.
I feel like if you're going to take
And
someone
then-
dogging, you should probably warn them first.
Well, absolutely.
It's a conversation.
Yeah.
Have you ever been dogging?
Absolutely not.
Checking.
What, shagging in the car? I mean, I
but
might
like-
have done that
Yeah, but
with
not
a partner, but not like...
not in a car park with lots of other people.
Oh no, there was people like it was so weird. That anyway, he turned out to be an absolute crazy man. I mean, no one takes someone on dogging on the first date and pretends that it wasn't for that reason. It was a bit weird.
My worst ever date was a bit more like emotionally bad. So it was, I'd come back from Australia, I'd done like my bit of healing, and I was like, right, I need to get myself back
Yeah.
in the dating scene. Been in a relationship for 9 years, basically a marriage, and now all of a sudden I'm single and I need to date. So forced myself, put myself out there, and also I was kind of like, I need to start having sex. Like, I need to get over that hurdle. Do you ever have that when you come out of a relationship? It's like that first time feels
Gotta
like
get it back
such
on the
a big
horse a little
deal.
bit, but
yeah,
it
so
is.
just kind of wanted to get it out of
Yeah.
the way. So I thought, right, I need to start dating again. Anyway, met this guy on a dating app. He seemed really lovely, but what did I know? Because I'm like a complete novice at
Yeah.
this. How on earth do you date when you're getting back into it? So I met this guy, and the first mistake I made, and the first tip I'm going to give you on this podcast is, I went into Manchester, which is about 45 minutes from my house, to meet him. And after this date, I always made them come to my hometown.
I agree.
And I'd meet them at a local bar, so that if it was a bit of a flop, whatever, I'm home in 20 minutes, no big deal. So first mistake I made was I went into Manchester. The man was 40 minutes late.
Rude.
And the only reason I know he's 40 minutes late, the only reason I stayed that long was because I made friends with the girls on the table next to me. And I was like, oh, I'm on a first date. I'm dead nervous. My first date in 9 years. Me chatting to anyone.
First date in 9 years as well. That's nuts.
And I had a gin and tonic with them. And then I realised how long it had been. And he was texting me saying things like, I can't find my ID. The man was nearly 40 years old. Couldn't find his ID, and apparently he had to have ID to scan in. They didn't scan me in. Anyway, he was just late.
Yeah.
So I'd text him and said, if you're not here in 10 minutes, I'm going. That was after we was about 20 minutes late. So that was enough of a grace period.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's it, I'm going. But it was really difficult because I'd built it up so much in my head. I'd met up with the girls first for drinks and stuff. And I was like, I'm going on this date. And like, I was so nervous. And then for him to effectively be a no-show. And I thought he'd stood me up. He was that late, I genuinely thought he'd stood me up. So I was like, okay.
Weird though that he'd messaged.
I'm just going to go. But I was like emotional about it. So I was like, right, I'm going to walk out. Anyway, as I'm walking out the door, he walks in. And he's like, Soph. And I just completely ignored him. Just head down, just walked out. Because I just thought that's not the type of energy that I want in my life.
Absolutely not.
I don't want to be with someone who's got that level of disrespect from the first minute. Mm-hmm. The least you can do is be on time, show up.
Yeah.
So luckily the girls had come into town. So I went and met the girls. And then we all went on a night out anyway, to cut a very long story short. Later on, I'm in my single girl era, all right? No judgment here. Later on, we're in a bar in town, and I'm chatting to this guy at the bar. I've been chatting to him for quite a bit. We've had a couple of drinks and stuff. Really nice guy, because I was just in that zone of like, I needed a bit of a confidence boost, I think, after being rejected on the date.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Anyway, this guy, we'll call him Mark. That was not his name. I don't know why I'm calling him Mark. It's somewhere along those lines. Make it a bit more fruity.
It's not Marco, is it?
Not quite. Nearly.
Okay, all right, Mark.
Mark walks in and I snogged the guy at the bar. Mark literally walked through the door and I saw him and I was like, not a chance.
Wait, so you snugged this other geezer when you walked in?
Yeah, I did
wow.
that. As a 30-year-old woman, don't care, no
Why
regrets.
not? Listen.
Why not?
Single era.
But that was my worst date.
That is a pretty... I mean, I would say this though, because we are quite easy to get along with. I've not really had that many bad dates. No. Because like, if they're not the best at communicating, I kind of just go along with it anyway. I have fun on myself anyway. Like, I could take myself on a date and have a great time. So add someone into the equation and it's just, So I find that like, it's not the actual dates that are bad, it's the actual men moving forward. I think that's the issue now. And again, in your 30s, dating in your 20s is completely different, I would say, to like 30s, because we do have more pressure on us as women. Like, you want to find somebody that's gonna, you know, be part of family. Like, I just think, there's a lot more pressure. I don't feel the pressure as much with trying to find the one. I'm not actively looking for the one. I'm open to him because I know he's there, but I don't really, like, at the moment where I'm at in my life, like, if he comes in and he makes or gives me more value to my life, that's great. But until then, like, I'm not actively looking for the one.
Ghost him. I know. Have you ghosted someone? Have you been ghosted?
I don't think I've ghosted somebody. I can't say I have because I like to be... I'm very upfront and I'm very straightforward with people now. Like, I just think, like, emotional intelligence, oh God. Like, I crave emotional intelligence. The 3's, emotional intelligence, emotionally mature, and emotionally available.
Oh, yeah.
And genuinely, if you have all them 3, you are gold. And I like to, like, prize myself that I have them because... I want to give my all to somebody, so like you just have to be straight to the point.
And how hard is it to just be honest and say,
I'm not feeling this.
I'm not into you. It's so much more respectful.
Yeah, this is not going.
This is never replying, and then you're left with all of these unanswered questions, and you worry about your self-worth, and it destroys your self-esteem. It's just a horrible thing to do to someone.
So I don't think I have whoever if I've physically been with, because I do like to get deep, but not like that. I mean, emotionally, guys, come on. But you know, like you physically met. I've never ghosted anyone that I've physically been with. Like maybe texting to and fro.
You're in the talking stage and it's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere. And you don't really owe anybody an explanation of that. I don't believe that. Like, why are you putting your energy into it? There's nothing there.
I agree.
But then if I have physically met with somebody, then I would be like, you know what, it's not for me. The energy's not for me. And I have done that. I think that's, again, setting boundaries. And being able to be clear about stuff, so important. Like, just be honest. Like, what's the worst that can happen about being honest? What, you just both sever ties and you move on? Great, fantastic.
I think that's one of the worst things about the dating scene in my experience, is just that inability to just be straight down the line. My friends always used to say to me I was like way too much of a straight shooter, because I'd be on a date with someone, we'd have one drink and I would know it's not for me. I'm not physically attracted to you. I'm not attracted to, i.e. your emotional intelligence, you chat, you're not making me laugh. I know. I just know. And I know people say things grow, but in my experience, that's just not how it goes. I know myself too well that if something is giving me the ick from minute one, I'm not going to waste your time. So we could have one drink and I'll say to you, do you know what? It's not for me. And my friends are like, you can't do that. And I'm like,
no, I believe it's quite good.
Carry it on for another hour, another 2 hours, and waste both of our time?
I think it's how you approach it as well. And that, again, is the emotional intelligence in you, is how to approach a situation.
Big time.
Like, you can't be cool with it.
Don't be a dick.
But I was just ghosted before I went away. I've just got back from Bali.
Amazing.
And I got ghosted before. We'd met like a month before, been chatting away. For about a month, actually, but he'd been away. And then I had a really solid, I felt like a solid connection with someone, even though I'd not met him. And that's very rare for me. When I'm connected to someone, I'm connected to him, and it's really strange. But we got this connection. Finally, we met up, had a few dates, and had this amazing time.
A few dates and he ghosted you. That's brutal.
Yeah, we were physical. Yeah. It was good. It was really
good. And he ghosted you?
And he ghosted. We were chatting for days after, and then I was really busy with work. But then I told him, I'm going away to Bali.
Do you think you spooked him a bit?
I definitely spooked him. I spook him anyway. Yeah, we're talking about ghosting.
I spook him.
I am. And I think, again, it's because I am, I'm very honest about stuff.
You know yourself.
I know myself, and that's it. I think people can be quite intimidated by me.
Yeah.
But I'm a nice person. I'm not scary. I'm just upfront. But yeah, I told him about Bali. It could have been that. It could have been anything. Who knows? It could have... Actually, let's be honest, it's him. It's not me. It was him. Because anybody that ghosts you, it's them that's the issue. It's not you. If you have been ghosted and you're still questioning yourself, genuinely, it is not you. It's them. Because they haven't got the emotional intelligence or maturity to tell you that, unfortunately, it's not working for me.
I love that. And you cannot take that personally.
You can't take that personally. That's them.
There's so much of dating that you go through these negative experiences and you can think it's about you, but whose shit is that? Not my monkey, not my circus.
Exactly. Absolutely. And you can't educate pork. You cannot educate pork.
If he wanted to, he would.
Absolutely.
I want to talk about this. So I'm a massive believer in the energy and the effort that people put into you is a direct reflection of how interested they are. And you can dance around that as much as you want. And you can say, I'll make this excuse for him and that excuse for him. If he was into you, if he wanted to, he would.
Absolutely. A man that wants to chase you, chases you.
And
a man that wants you will get you. Yeah? He's just not that into you. One of my favourite movies of all time. I watch that after every breakup, not even a breakup, every day that I don't like, every situationship. It happens a lot.
You watch it every night.
I watched it a lot. I love that film. You should watch it. It's great. But it's true. If he's just not that into you.
It's just not that
it's
into you.
True. I'd like to say men are simple beings, but I'm not in a man's head, and I don't think,
We're just very
think they are. We're just very different.
We're very, very different.
I think this is where also it kind of counts into the masculinity and feminine energy.
Yes. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's a very important subject, actually, because I feel like I've been forced to be masculine in a lot of my relationships, and it's just not who I am. I want to be a feminine energy, and it's been so hard for me to find a geezer that is masculine, but in a really positive way, not in an ego way.
So I think for anyone who doesn't understand feminine and masculine energies, let me just break it down slightly, that men and women, both of us, we all have masculine and feminine energies in us. And there's healthy masculine and there's an unhealthy, unhealed masculine.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about masculine energy, we're talking about traits like being protective, being accountable, reliable, grounded, strong, all of these positive masculine energy traits.
That is a healthy masculine.
That's what you're talking about. That's what you're looking
the
for.
Provider, And I don't mean providing, by the way, physically. I don't mean like he's paying for me, this guy. I'm talking about a provider as emotional support as well. Like, because as a woman, I'm very nurturing and I will be your support, but you have to get it, you know, again, it's the energies. You have to get it back sometimes. Like, you can't have it all on you. And I think it's very important, especially with dating, to understand the feminine and masculine energy from the start. Where do you lie? And if it's not aligning with you, run. Because you can't change somebody. You can't change anybody.
I'm a big believer as well that your body knows and will tell you. This is why when you're stressed, you might get a stomachache. This is why when you're anxious, you can feel it in your chest. Your body sometimes will know before you know that something isn't right. If you are feeling constantly anxious and stressed and upset about a situation, let's talk about situationships, about a situationship or a relationship or whatever it is, your body is trying to tell you. When you meet the right person or when you are around the right people, you will feel relaxed. Your nervous system will be
Your nervous system feels relaxed.
You're calm.
Butterflies.
Your blood pressure goes down.
Butterflies are not.
Say butterflies again. You say that really weird.
Butterflies.
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 Say Tuesday.
No.
Tuesday.
It's because I'm from Sheffield, guys. She laughs at this.
Situationships.
Oh, God.
I feel like situationships can be harder to get over than a bloody relationship.
100%. They are so much harder to get.
Because they weren't anything, but they were.
But they were in our heads. In our heads. And again, this is what happens with dating in general. Both males and females, we all do it. We put people on pedestals and we imagine this certain life that we have got with these people after meeting them once or twice. And just, when we're literally sending a few texts there and back, I stop this now, especially when I early dating. I don't text a lot. I don't because you can get a certain perspective of somebody from the texting and you're putting energy into each other. No, I want to meet you in person and I want to see if the energy flows like that, because you can have a false placebo as well with somebody. Like, this person could be hilarious on text. You meet him in absolute
and how often does that happen? That's actually a really good tip.
Yeah, like such a bore. Don't be texting back and forward. Save your energy for a real date. And if you've not had a real date within a couple of weeks, maximum, unless someone's away on holiday, it's a no-go.
Sex on the first date.
Ooh.
That's curveball, but I just thought I'd ask you. What's your thoughts?
Do
you think it's a good idea?
I don't think it's a good idea, no.
Why?
Because, again, you're giving your energy to someone that you don't know, But actually, I will say, when it happened with me in the past, they've ended up being my partners. Because that connection was instant, but actually, it's in the longevity, it's not word.
But what about when you know?
When you know, you know.
Like, if you know and you have the most incredible first date and you've been sat opposite them for 9 hours laughing and having an amazing time, and then you have your first kiss and it's incredible and it naturally leads on, speaking from experience.
I was about to say.
And it naturally leads on to it.
Yeah.
And then you wake up the next day and there's no feeling of shame or guilt or anything like that, because you just think that was amazing and it was right. And then 2 years on, you're in a really good space.
That's absolutely fine. Like, again, it depends on the person. It
your
depends
body
on
knows.
your situation. Your body knows.
Listen to your gut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you feel unsafe
Doesn't feel right
in that situation, then it's a no-go. If you feel obviously forced, like, absolutely not. But sex can happen when it's meant to happen. I just think in my head now, obviously you're in a relationship and that worked for you, I'm presuming. Yeah. 9 hours of chatting. Is this your first date with your partner?
Maybe.
Yeah. Like, for me now, to have sex with someone on a first date would probably be contradicting everything I'm talking about when it comes to energy flow and, like, preserving my energy for someone who I want is special. Because actually, they don't deserve my energy. And I guarantee someone that isn't of good energy will zap mine. And it's just taken so long to build up like that,
I love that. I think
we have to protect that energy.
Slowing it down as well.
Yeah.
I think everyone
What's the rush?
is in such a rush to meet their person.
Yeah.
And I see this manifest in a really awful way, particularly in your 30s, because people end up marrying the wrong people, having children with the wrong people, just because they've hit a certain number of age and they think, shit, I need to marry someone, I need to have kids. So they do it all with the wrong person.
Yeah, like the
and
clock's ticking for a woman.
Slowing down, stop forcing it, and trust that the more you work on yourself, the more you're going to attract the right person into your life. There is nothing more lonely than being in the wrong relationship.
Absolutely. I would rather be single and happy on my
Forever.
own than in a relationship
With my
some...
cats and my cat calming spray.
But yeah, it's true. Like, you would rather be alone than in a relationship. And especially when people question your relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I was with the wrong person and my friends are saying to me, oh my God, like, you're not a good couple. That'd be my worst nightmare in my 30s. Because what, you got to restart again?
Are you having sex?
No.
Have you not got a buddy?
No.
Oh.
I don't have a buddy. And I don't want a buddy.
Do you not?
Nope, I do not want a buddy.
You just want your thruster to arrive. Come on,
I didn't
Amazon.
order it.
I'm going to order it.
Christmas. Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't have a buddy. But purely because I don't want to be giving my energy to anyone that I'm not serious about. Like, they don't
What about the
deserve that.
orgasms?
I give them myself.
Yeah. Do you not miss the intimacy and the physical touch?
Okay, so yeah, I will say that is the one thing. If anything, it's the intimacy, because as humans we do crave intimacy.
That was what I missed.
I do love a cuddle. Now, I never used to. This last year, I think because I've become really happy with myself, I love a cuddle. But like, I cuddle my pillow. Like, oh my God, that sounds so sad. Really not sad. I'm really happy. I would rather be cuddling my pillow than the wrong person. You know? 'Cause
Amen.
I have dated some twats, some really awful, awful men, and not from any. I wouldn't even say I will hold myself accountable if I'm a twat. Like, genuinely will. I'm the first one to say, if I am being a twat, I will hold my hand up. I'm accountable.
How many times do you want to say twat on the podcast?
I like twat. Isn't twat a good
What's
word?
your favourite swear word?
Twat.
Mine's, I don't think I can say it.
See you next week.
God, yeah.
Yeah. See you next week.
Do you know what? So I lived in Australia for 9 years, and they say that so colloquially out there, it's every other word.
Really?
So when I got back from Australia, I accidentally called my mum a cunt.
Oh, no!
Swear to God,
Oh
we're just
my
in
God.
the kitchen,
No
and I
way.
asked her to like pass me a pepper or a capsicum, and called her a cunt. Bad.
My mum slapped me once. I called her one by accident when I was about 10.
Oh,
My
you were
mum's
10.
never
She
hit
slapped
me
you around the
before.
face?
She slapped me. Back at head. Bang. But yeah, we lost the thing on that. Laura.
Are you a sexual person?
Very sexual person. That's the problem.
Same. It's not a problem.
It's not. Well, it is when you're single.
Do you ever think it is a problem? Because I actually have found it to be a problem.
Very
That
much
I am
so.
such a sexual person, and then
Yeah.
if I meet someone who doesn't meet that need or can't keep up or isn't as got the same sexual appetite as I have, that's a real issue. And men will not be honest about that in my experience. So men find it quite emasculating, I think, to say that they're not particularly sexual.
Yeah.
Because men should be sexual, right?
Yeah.
So I have found that men will always say from the start they're a super sexual person, they're really into this, they're really into that, and then you get into it and it's like, you're not.
That's
Have you had that
interesting.
experience?
It's not really got that far.
Kayleigh,
I'm going to be honest.
what's your
I
longest
mean,
relationship?
3 years.
Okay.
I had three years. Three years back to back. So I basically had a relationship for 9 years with 3 different people.
Wow.
But like, not at the same time, obviously. But like, I had a bit of a gap in between, but it weren't long.
You need this
I was
period of being
young.
single.
No, I was younger. I was from 14 that till like, so the last 10 years, I'd say I've only been in relationships 2 of the years out of it, not long. The others were situationships, which are the worst, like we've said before, because you don't know if you're coming or going. It's so confusing, and who's asked to be confused now? Like, there's just... But no, I actually, the only thing I do miss is the intimacy in a relationship, but that's because I want to be with someone who I'm intimate with and on a deeper level.
Yeah, because you've said
Do
to
you
me,
know?
you don't just want a partner, you want a marriage, you
I
want
want
a family, you
yeah.
want those things.
And even though sometimes, you know, yeah, I am tempted to be like, oh,
Do you want a
like,
cheeky
just
finger?
Go on and, yeah, a cheeky finger. I do want to go on a date out. I do want to meet somebody. Like, and then honestly, like, I have to stop myself because I'm like, it's not
What
what
are the
I'm
dating
looking
apps
for.
like now?
Oh, shocking. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you because I pause them every other day. And I'm like, is this what I've got to deal with? No offence to the men on them. It's just not my sort of people. And yeah, and do you know what? Zero chat. Like, I feel like it's a bit of a lost cause at the moment. And I'm just like, how do you bring it back? But again, you know, I actually did meet someone I was away in Bali as well. He was
Holiday romance.
fantastic.
He's got the biggest feet I've ever seen in my life. He has to get his shoes made professionally because his feet are that big.
Yeah.
Should we leave it on that?
Yeah. Yeah, he was great though. But
So I know being single in your 30s is a minefield, and it can be really challenging. And I feel really blessed and grateful that I have met someone and I am in a really good space. Not without its challenges. Let me just make that clear.
Yeah.
Relationships are hard.
Yes.
You're going to need your girlfriends. You're going to need to be honest and vulnerable and transparent, because you go through waves, and that is life. And it's like that no matter who you're with. Stop comparing your relationships to people on Instagram who pretend it's all perfect, and then they've broken up 6 weeks later.
It takes a village to create.
It does. And I think being open and transparent for me has been huge. Like, if I'm going through things, talking to the people around me who I love and trust has been huge. So we're talking about it being a minefield. Maybe it's got a bit of a negative spin, but give us some inspo,
because actually,
positivity.
like, listen, I'm 34 years old.
Yes.
I am single, and I'm very, very happy right now.
Yes.
I couldn't be happier being in my single era right now.
Good.
I am being selfish, and I'm spending time just learning about myself, starting new businesses and doing new activities, traveling. Like, there's so many things that you can do in your 30s being single. And honestly, like, why waste your time when I'm just going to wait for the right person to come along? You know, just keep doing you, girls.
You're doing it
and
right.
Guys. I think so. And I think there's nothing better to feel empowered in your 30s and being single.
Thanks for listening to Curveball, the podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and watch us. Do all the things. We love you. We appreciate you.
We love your feedback, guys. Feel free to throw us a curveball of your own, and we'll see you next time.